good evening, Facebook, and welcome to this week's Tot Think on These Things. It is I, your girl, your host, Marilyn Gregory, aka MG, aka Pearl, and I am with you on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, bringing you food, food for your soul, food for your mind, food for thought, right? Things that will inspire you, lift you up, encourage you, and I hope help make your life a little bit better. And I always say I'm not going to hold you long tonight. It's not going to be any different, y'all. I promise not to hold you long. Go ahead, grab some people, tell them MG is on, and they need to bring pen and pad with them. So, we have been talking about relationships. And tonight we're going to continue to talk about relationships. But tonight we want to talk about how to fight fair. How to fight fair. Because I think it was Robert Louis Stevenson that said that marriage is just one long conversation checkered with disputes. And I don't care how good or how bad your marriage is, we all have disputes. We are not going to completely agree on everything. And someone who tells me that they never have disputes with their significant other, it makes me think about this scene and Coming to America when they had picked a wife for him, and he said, "What's your favorite color?" My favorite color is your favorite color. What do you like? I like what you like. Well, nobody wants that, right? He didn't want it. We don't want it. That's why he went looking to America and find somebody else, right? We want someone to be our partner with in life, but we understand that we are not going to totally agree on every single thing. There are going to be some disputes, right? So all couples will fight, but healthy couples, they'll fight fair, right? And I just want to bring you a couple of things that will help you in that vein. It's better to be prepared. It's better to have these rules, these guidelines, if you will, these boundaries set up before that time comes. Because when you're in the heat of the moment, it's a little hard to be practical, right? It's a little hard to be logical. But if you already have these things set up, it makes it that much easier. First, you want to make sure you're fighting for resolution. You're fighting for a resolution, not for personal victory. Because the Bible says that you become one. You cleave, you leave, you cleave, you become one, right? Two becomes one. And if you are one, if one person loses, you both lose. If one wins or their point of view is what you go with, then you both win. Why? Because you are one. So you can't win without your spouse losing. And if your spouse, your significant other is a part of you, y'all have become one, then you both lose. So make sure that you are fighting to get a resolution to the issue, not so that you can be victorious, right? And we have these rules so that things would be fair. Just like football, boxing, wrestling, basketball, baseball, any sport, really, right? Any combat sports, they have rules. Even there are even rules of war, right? We have these rules and these guidelines and these boundaries set up in advance, so everything will be fair and there's no serious injuries. And we want everything in our marriage to be fair, and we certainly do not want any serious injuries, right? So that's why we want to have these rules, these guidelines, these things set up in advance so that we will have these things, right? Because when we fight, y'all, we're at our worst. Will everybody agree? Raise your hand. When we fight, we're at our worst, right? Pride is at its strongest. Pride is at its strongest when we are in a debate. We all want to be win. We all get selfish, and judgmental when we're in a dispute. So we're going to have these rules and guidelines so that we can fight fair. So make sure you have your pen, make sure you have your pencil, typewriter, phone, whatever you use, take your notes with, right? Because our marriages, our relationships, they are under attack, and we want to make sure that we protect them the best way we can, right? And that's being prepared in advance for what will come. Not that we're looking for a fight, we're looking for a dispute, but they will come, right? So, one, no one, and ladies, sadly, this is probably aimed more towards us than our male counterpart, but no one is allowed to get hysterical. Write that down. Ladies, that's probably for us, honestly. No one is allowed to get hysterical. I've seen some men get hysterical, just to be fair, right? But no one is allowed to get hysterical. And hysterical is just simply uncontrolled, extreme emotions. Y'all get that? Hysterical is uncontrolled, extreme emotions. No one is allowed that, right? I'm going to give you some scriptures. Y'all look them up. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go to all of them, but go to Proverbs 18:2. Write down James 1:19-20. Quick to listen. Quick to listen. Slow to speak. So when we listen and we're slow about speaking, it gives us an opportunity to ask ourselves these questions in our mind. Should what I'm thinking be said? So ask yourself that question. Should what I'm thinking, should I say it? Slow to speak, quick to listen. And also, should what I'm thinking be said now, at this moment? Right? So think about those things. Also, you want to be slow to become angry. Slow to become angry. Look at Ephesians 4:26. Don't sin in our anger. The Bible doesn't say we won't get angry. It says that we should not sin in our anger. Yeah, all of that is under one. That's one. We got 8 of these, right? But all of that falls up under one. No one is allowed to get hysterical. All of that falls up under that, okay? So, number 2, no name calling is allowed. No, name calling shouldn't be allowed in your marriage, period. But especially during fighting, which is normally when it happens, right? No name calling. Get in the habit of saying baby, sweetheart, pumpkin, juicy, whatever. Get in the habit of saying those names. So when you're in that dispute, that's what is going to come out. Baby, I hear you, but baby, no, sweetie, look, But anything other than those, not allowed. No name calling is allowed. That's more towards our men, I would think, right? Ladies, we don't do the name calling thing. Number 3. History stays in the past. Look at 1 Corinthians 13:5. History stays in the past. If it has nothing to do with the subject at hand, you cannot bring it up. It stays in the past. Lady, again, it's probably geared a little bit more towards us, but keep that in mind, even with our men, right? Because men do it too, just to be fair. But if it's in the past, if it's history, especially if we've already dealt with it, which we should have, you cannot bring it up. We can't be keeping score. Scores only be kept in games, right? This is not a game. This is our life. This is our partnership. This is our future, right? This is our legacy. This affects our children and our children's children and our children's children, right? So this is not a game. We are not, I repeat, we are not keeping score. Remember, one person loses, we both lose. If one person wins, we both win. So there is no score keeping, right? 4, ban words like never and always. Ban those words. Cannot use those words. It never leads to anything good, y'all. It's not fair and it's not true, and it will always make the other person even mad. If you're saying stuff like you never do this, you never do that, or you always doing this and you're always doing that. That is no, we can't do that. Especially during our dispute. We cannot use the words never and always. We are never to use the word always. We're always to never use the words never and always, y'all, in our disputes, right? If the person, and think about this, if the person you're dating does something that you can't stand, it's a red flag for you, it's a problem for you, you need to ask yourself before you marry this person, are you willing to live with that for the rest of your life? And I know during the courting stages and the rose colored glasses stages, we think we can, but that's what that we talked about, infatuation and true love, because we're looking at things foolishly, or we're putting this person on some type of pedestal because we're obsessed with them, and it's not even logical, y'all. So make sure that you're not looking at this person with rose colored glasses and think I can put up with this or I can put up with that. Be honest with yourself for your sake and for theirs, even before you get into this relationship. Because you can't go back then and say, well, you always did this. Even when it was dating, you always did it. Yeah, then you knew that, right? Why are you bringing it up? You knew that. Or you never did this. So you never opened the door for me. You never did this. Never. Well, you knew that. Why are you bringing it up? Can't use the words always and never, right? Elizabeth Elliot, I'm going to give a quote from her. Something happens to change dynamics after the wedding ceremony. This person that you thought was a prize package turns out to be a surprise package. We don't want no surprises, y'all. That's why we got to be honest with ourselves and honest with the other person, right? Okay, number 5. No, number 5. The D word is not allowed. The word divorce during a debate should never, ever be brought up, especially as a threat. Keep that up and I'm just going to get a divorce. Do this and I'm just going to get, no. You cannot use the D word as a threat, especially during this dispute. You should never use that as a threat anyway, but especially during a dispute. Remember, we're working towards a resolution. We're trying to find a common ground, something that will be beneficial to both of us and to our marriage and to our children, to our children's children, to our children, right? So never bring up the D word as a threat. Happy married couples fight as much as divorced couples. But the thing is, they have learned how to build bridges over the issues that they have, and they've learned how to use their disagreements to deepen their relationships. So never use the D word, the divorce word, as a threat, right? Number six, and this is so important. They're all important, but this is so important. No public fighting. Because usually it's done just to shame that other person. Because remember, you're one. So if you shame them, you're shaming yourself. And y'all, just be real. I've been around couples who fight. It just makes everybody feel uncomfortable. Everybody in the room like, so no public fighting. If it's something that you feel like needs to be brought up, hey babe, can I see you outside for a second? Can I let's go to the bathroom together. Let something, but no public fighting. No public fighting. Think about it. You're only doing it to disgrace or shame the other person, which only brings disgrace and shame upon you. And it makes everybody feel uncomfortable. Everybody in the room feels uncomfortable. So, number 7. That was 6. Yeah, number 7. It has to be a touch-free zone. Now, that just goes without saying. Don't put your hands on one another. If you have to put your hands in your pocket, if you have to tie your hands up, whatever you have to do, no hands. This is a hands-free zone. Hands-free zone. No touching. Unless you're touching out to give a hug or something like that. This is a no hands-free zone. Y'all, somebody must be outside because my babies are going crazy. So we coming to number 8 because they going wild in there, y'all. So number 8, no quoting. No quoting. You can't quote me. No quoting of any pastors during a fight. You can't quote nobody. And don't bring up exes during a fight. Don't bring up another man. Don't bring up another woman during your dispute. Y'all. I've done it. Next thing you know, according to them, you sleeping with them or they want to sleep with you. No, just don't do it. If you quote something, they say you don't have to say who quoted it. Just say it. Take it, own it, make it yours, but do not say, well, the pastor said this. My ex, he said, that ain't even a good look. Nope, don't bring anybody else into it unless you bring God into it. If you're going to quote somebody, quote the word. It says the word. It is written that we should leave our mother and father and cleave and become one. It is written that I should respect you and you should love me. If you're going to quote anything, quote the word. Right? So that's how they going crazy again. That's all I got for tonight, y'all. So thank you for being here. I hope this helps somebody. Go out there and be that change that you want to see. Y'all know that I love you. There's not a thing in the world that you can do to change that. So peace out, and I will see you next week. Next week, I got 6 things for you too. All right. Holla.
We're searching for the truth, deep in our lives, breaking through the barriers to darken the lights. Every thought we carry shapes who we are. Renew your mind, reach out and you'll go far. Transform the way you see.